Hello, vloggers. It is day 3 of Vlog Every Day in February, and taking the cue from others who have had the foresight and manners to introduce themselves. I said I would do the same. My name is Amanda Grace, and I call myself a creative explorer. I live and work in the northwest of Ireland, between the counties Fermanagh, which is where I live, and Sligo, which is where my studio is. But I work from home a lot, especially at this time of year. I'm looking forward to getting back into the studio to do some bigger and messier painting towards the end of this month. Now, so that's me. I've a website and YouTube channel and all that business. So I've been throwing myself out there for about 2, or could be coming up to 3 years. I'm not sure. Anyway, a little while now. I was thinking last night before I went to bed about my favourite childhood memories. I always have this thing about favourites, or I just don't like picking favourites. It's too hard to decide. So I can say that, just my childhood is a good memory. We had a lot of, we were very fortunate growing up, and I would even say we was privileged growing up in many ways. And we were, we had a lot of, there was just a lot of excitement and a lot of good stuff from my childhood, Of course, it doesn't make me immune to the insecurities that you pick up along the way, but nothing that can't be, nothing that can't be resolved anyway. But yeah, so my childhood was great. And here's the thing I remember most about being a child. I was a big fan of magic. I loved magic, and I think a lot of children do, and magical things, I just believing in magic. That was the thing. That's something that I remember fondly about being a child, and that I would miss, is the innocence, the innocence and the utter suspension of, there was nothing even to suspend, just that kind of willingness to believe in magic, and not just pure magic, but like fairies and Santa and the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny and all those things that that created such a sense of wonder when I was small. I was a big fan of there was a magician this side of the pond. He was a UK, an English magician. His name was Paul Daniels, and he used to have a show on the telly, and I was just so fascinated with Paul Daniels. And we went to see him when I was a child, on live on a stage, and he made a motorbike disappear on stage, and it was just it created such a for me, And I remember when I was studying a couple of years ago, I have a degree in psychotherapy, and of course I was studying developmental psychology, as that was one of our modules, and I was fascinated with what I learned about childhood development, and that at a certain age, like at the peekaboo age, when an infant is at the peekaboo age, they haven't evolved cognitively to understand that when you hide behind something, that you're still there and you're still behind the thing. It's just like 1 minute you're there and the next minute you're not, and then you're back again. And that's why babies get so much crack out of peekaboo. I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, not that I remember myself as an infant having that experience, but like I remember, before the truth came along to rain on my parade, that kind of like when you would think you were meeting the real Mickey Mouse or the real Santa, or the money under my pillow was actually from the Tooth Fairy. Um, that's what I love to remember. And I love to, since I learned that little tidbit of childhood development, I get such a kick out of seeing babies, seeing people doing the peekaboo with babies, because I know that they are, to them, it's absolute magic that you just disappear and come back again. Now, the other thing about magic was, when I grew out of all that stuff, when I woke up to realize that, that it was all an illusion, and that everything was, that magic was just illusions and tricks, and that, the whole Santy Tooth Fairy, all that stuff, I remember just feeling like such a sense of bubble bursting. And I would have then looked at magic with a different eye. Like it just, all of a sudden magic wasn't magic anymore. Now magic was like this challenge to me to figure it out. How did he really make where did the motorbike actually go? How did I not see the motorbike? What did he do with the motorbike that I can't see? And I would watch magic on television or anywhere with this kind of this loss of just letting it happen, just letting myself be deceived. I couldn't deal with it. I had to find out, I had to figure it out, had to figure out where the thing was that was there a second ago, or how did he get the mobile phone into the bottle, and ruining it for myself. And I started to realize, and I don't know how long ago I started to think about this. I started to think about the way that I have a very analytical, critical type mind, a very picky, just to pick apart kind of a mind, or I don't know if it's my mind or if it's a part of me, this part of me that, won't let me suspend it, or it's this part of me that just wants to know how you did it and what are you doing and don't be tricking me and all that. So not being able to, or not willing to suspend that, was what ruined the magic for me. It wasn't that the magic wasn't magic anymore. It was that I wouldn't play along. I wouldn't conspire. I wouldn't conspire in the deception. Actually, that's something Jim Henson said, and Jim Henson's one of my absolute heroes, where he said about the Muppets. He said that the magic of the Muppets, I don't know if he said magic, but anyway, I'm paraphrasing, that the magic of the Muppets was that the audience were conspiring in the madness. And I just loved that. And I remember, I know where it turned around for me. We have a puppeteer here, and he's passed away now, but his name was Eugene Lambert, and he would have been the Irish Jim Henson kind of a thing. And I met him as an adult. I would have been in my about my late 20s, early 30s when I met him. And when I met him, he had his character with him, and his character was a dog called Judge. And I had never met Eugene as an adult before. I had always gone to his shows in his theatre as a child, and I love puppetry. But anyway, there I was, completely unprepared for what was about to happen. My father was talking to him, and the next thing, I just appeared into the conversation as an adult, and I was introduced to Eugene, and I said hello, and he said hello, how are you doing? And then Eugene introduced me to Judge, the puppet, and the puppet said hello to me. And then I said hi, Judge, and the next thing I know, I'm having a conversation with a puppet, and there was no way I couldn't have the conversation. And it brought me back. It was like that moment turned that whole thing around for me. It was like I could not engage with the magic. I couldn't. That puppet was alive. He was alive. And that brought back to me the ability to suspend that which wants me to know that it's just a piece of fabric with a fella with his hand up its hole, ruining it for me, You know, that part of me that just wants to ruin it for me. That was my turnaround. Meeting Eugene Lambert and Judge. Is that my favourite childhood memory? Even though I was probably 30 something? Yeah, it is. That's the memory that reintroduced me to the magic of being a child and letting things that just letting the magic be there. Just, you know, just let the magic happen. There you go. There's my little chat for today, and I have to run and go and do some work in the library. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.